author, New York Times columnist, Anand Giridharadas. Did I get it right?
You did.
Okay,
Wow.
That is some hair.
That's awesome. Great hair.
Okay, you
Gives
and
me
Joe.
something to aspire to, actually.
Yeah, oh, God. Okay.
You're almost there.
I'm getting there. I'm halfway there.
All right. Your latest book, The True American, Murder and Mercy in Texas. We're going to get to that in just a moment. Thank you for coming on. But first, we want to read a bit from the New York Times Magazine piece, Trumpism After Trump. And you write in part this: Trump didn't generate the constituency with a few brash statements. He harnessed feelings that long predated his candidacy, feelings of besiegement and alienation, of being silenced, and gave them an unprecedented respectability. Even if Trump leaves the stage by springtime, he has galvanized, gathered, and given voice to all of these Americans. This is how Trumpism might outlast Trump, by gelling this anxiety and longing into a movement, by giving new permission to question who is American, by redrawing the borders of respectable debate. And that he has done.
That he has done, and also a phrase in there that really caught my eye, is when you said he's not saying what he believes, he's saying what they believe.
You know, he's the caricature of him is, this is a guy who'll say anything. This is a wild man. And wild men rise and wild men fall. But when you watch the crowds, he is right. Those are large crowds. And they are feverish. They're excited. They're stabbing their fingers in the air when he's talking about banning Muslims. And you start to wonder, even if he has his crash, those people are still going to be there. But again, those people are still our fellow citizens.
He's saying not what he believes, he's saying what they believe.
And he's channeling and organizing beliefs that I think come out of a sense of fear, anxiety, the terrorism stuff, the economic stuff.
It's
people
nativism.
Have been pummeled. It's nativism.
I don't feel like I belong in my own country anymore. No.
And I think...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, clearly, have you've been there, you've seen some of the crowds. So clearly, Trump, through whatever magic he has within him, and it is part of magic, reflecting what people feel. And do you get the sense that a lot of public people, candidates, unlike Trump, have not yet addressed the inner angst in America over the fact that for many Americans, their roofs literally collapsed 7 years ago in the economic crash, and Trump is addressing that.
100%. And I think that's where, if there's a constructive thing to take from him, it is the diagnosis, not the prescription. So let's set aside the prescription and say he's understood a certain pain, he's understood a certain fear. I heard the president last week in the news conference. You know, it's very intelligent, but it did not speak to a visceral place in which you are afraid your kid could get shot in the face at school, or you are afraid that your husband will never find work again and will start to take the anger out on you. Millions and millions of people are living in a kind of set of fears around terrorism and a much longer running set of fears around the economy, and particularly men, particularly around the emasculation of not working as much as you want to work.